In a near-future world, a mutated strain of rabies, nicknamed Mad Dog disease, spreads uncontrollably across the planet. The infection jumps rapidly from animals to humans, and anyone bitten transforms in just 90 seconds. Within months, over 7 billion people are either dead or rabid. Those who turn become hyperviolent, nearly impervious to pain, and driven by a primal instinct to kill. Civilization collapses, leaving behind a wasteland ruled by roaming undead hordes. Deep underground, the remnants of the U.S. military shelter inside a nuclear bunker. Scientists from the CDC work alongside soldiers, desperately searching for a cure. Their best hope lies in identifying patient zero, believing the original host's blood might hold the key to reversing the infection. Inside the base, dozens of captured zombies are kept locked in reinforced cages for study. Among the living survivors is Morgan, a rare anomaly. He was bitten but never turned. His blood slows the virus, grants him partial resistance, and strangely, allows him to understand and communicate with the infected. Because of this, he works closely with Dr. Gina, assisting in interrogations. During one session, soldiers drag in a thrashing zombie who Morgan nicknames Joe. They torture Joe with loud music, painful to zombies, before Morgan steps in to communicate using their guttural language. Joe reveals fragments. He's from Minnesota, and among the earliest infected. But before he can say more, Colonel Knox interrupts, enraging Joe. Moments later, Knox impulsively shoots Joe dead, infuriating Gina and Morgan, who needed him for their research. The stress triggers Morgan's own violent urges, a side effect of the infection he battles daily. Gina comforts him, and the two briefly give in to their emotions. Knox sees them emerging and mocks them, triggering more tension inside the base. Later, Morgan visits a secret cell hidden in the back, his wife Janet, who was bitten the same day he was. Though she turned, Morgan's blood serum slows her transformation and keeps her lucid for short periods. Janet struggles to hold on to herself but accepts another injection, whispering that she still remembers the music. The next day, the team attempts to interrogate another zombie, Pete. He breaks free from restraints, bites a scientist named Scooter, and chaos erupts. The team amputates Scooter's arm and injects him with the serum, but it's too late. He transforms and is put down. Grief and frustration weigh heavily on everyone. When Morgan interrogates Pete again, the anger pushes him too far. He tortures Pete with extended bursts of music, demanding answers. Pete reveals only basic details, also from Minnesota, before shutting down completely. Morgan, unable to contain his fury, storms out. After analyzing their findings, Gina concludes Minnesota may hold clues to patient zero. Despite Knox's objections, the general approves a scouting mission. When Morgan later visits Janet with another dose, she senses his conflicted guilt about Gina. Morgan insists she remains everything to him. But Janet, overwhelmed and deteriorating, begs to be released, saying she'd rather die free than be imprisoned as a monster. Meanwhile, Gina's research hits a wall. Morgan's blood slows aggression but only for minutes, and nothing they test brings them closer to a real cure. Frustrated and emotionally overwhelmed, she confesses her love for Morgan, but he silently walks out. That night Morgan relives the trauma of the outbreak. He and Janet trapped in their car as zombies shatter the windows and bit them both. He wakes from the nightmare screaming. Soon after, Gina discovers she is pregnant with Morgan's child, sending her into emotional turmoil. A disaster strikes when a disguised civilian zombie infiltrates the base, massacring soldiers in the crematorium. Morgan rescues the infiltrator, now nicknamed the Professor, who seems disturbingly calm and unaffected by stimuli that hurt other zombies. He smokes, speaks clearly, and resists interrogation with philosophical ramblings. He explains that zombies, each unique like humans, are evolving, becoming smarter. He even tells Morgan he's become famous among the undead because his blood threatens their future. Morgan eventually realizes the Professor is only stalling. He rushes to Pete's cell, cuts open an old scar, and discovers a hidden tracker. Pete intentionally allowed himself to be captured so zombies could locate the bunker. Before the soldiers can finish sealing the base, the horde breaks in and unleashes a massacre. Zombies overwhelm refugees, labs, and hallways. One undead sneaks into the cell block and releases Janet and dozens of other infected prisoners. The bunker collapses into chaos. Knox drags Gina toward an escape elevator, but when General Pierce follows them, Knox shoots him so the horde stops to devour him, allowing their escape. Gina turns the gun on Knox during a struggle, and he is killed. Meanwhile, Morgan rushes to free Janet, refusing to leave without her. He, Gina, and Janet fight through the chaos, grabbing research samples and killing zombies along the way. They crawl into ventilation shafts, escape falling grates, kill infected rats, and narrowly avoid being dragged into the vents by the horde. In the parking garage, the professor awaits them. He declares his mission: kill Morgan, the anti-zombie whose blood threatens the rise of their new species. A brutal fight erupts, ending with Morgan impaling the professor, though Morgan is badly hurt. With his dying breath, the professor unleashes a roar summoning the entire horde. As the infected swarm the garage, the trio flees toward the exit. But Janet stops, knowing she can delay the horde while Morgan and Gina escape. Morgan refuses, until Janet reveals she can sense Gina's pregnancy. She shuts the door behind him, sacrificing herself. Morgan breaks down but escapes with Gina into a tunnel that leads into the woods. Zombies roam everywhere, but Morgan is determined to protect Gina and their unborn child. He retrieves his hidden motorcycle, and the two speed into the forest as the undead swarm in the distance. Thanks for watching Cine Recap Studio. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a story. Until next time.